The easiest way for you to make more money as a growth operator is simply to increase your show rates and lead quality. If you're getting consistent no-shows, then you're just pouring money down the drain. So today, I'm going to walk you through some extremely easy to set up text and email sequences to help you improve your show rates. So you're going to want to open your Go High Level CRM and then navigate to the sub-accounts you want to set up these sequences for. From there, you're going to want to set up a new automation for confirmation notifications and reminder messages. So the goal with the automation is firstly to have the highest show rates as possible, but also secondly, to make sure that the prospect shows up to the sales call actually prepared. And by that, I mean they already understand the niche that you're in, they understand what the offer is and how it can benefit them. And then from there, you also want to make sure that they've watched some case studies, testimonials, so they can see the people that are already winning with your product. So when it comes to the sales call itself, the closer can actually focus on closing the deal instead of explaining what the offer is on the call. There are two triggers you're going to want for this automation, and they're both related to booking appointments. And the first is customer books an appointment. And this is if the customer or your prospect books an appointment through a calendar link that you send them. So you send them your GHL calendar scheduling link, and they book in directly from that, from the DMs or from a text message, wherever you've sent it to them. And this is if they book themselves. And from there, the trigger is actually just customer books appointments, and you want to add a filter to make it specify whichever calendar it's in. So in calendar, and then specify which calendar you want it specifically to be for. So the other trigger is appointment status. And this is if the call was booked manually from your sales team. So if you had a dialing team in place calling opt-ins and they were manually booking the appointment for the prospect over the phone, then you're going to want the trigger to be appointment status. Inside of this trigger, you're going to want to set up some custom filters. You can leave event type as normal, but once again, you're going to want to select which calendar it's in, so making sure you're selecting the correct calendar for it to be booked into. But you're also going to want to set up created or modified by and select this to user. When this is set to user, this means if the appointment is manually booked by a user, then it will trigger the automation and the prospect will get added to the sequence itself. So the first action or task you're going to want to set up is sending an SMS text message from the sub-account confirming the appointment itself. So this is confirming the meeting time and the meeting location, so the prospect has the link ready to join the call itself. One small note is if you're sending SMS text messages from your sub-account, you will need to be A2P verified for that phone number that you're sending the message from. But the actual message itself can be super simple. Just something along the lines of, hey, whatever their first name is, it's whatever your creator's name is from their program. Your appointment with I've called this closer authority title here. You want to give your closer a name which creates authority already. So you can call them your COO or your head coach or your investment strategist, something like that that gives them authority before the prospect even joins the sales call. And then you can say it has been scheduled for the appointment start time and the appointment time zone itself. If you want to actually select these, you can just click on this little tag here and collect the information that you need to insert into the text message, so the custom data. You can join the meeting at the scheduled start time here, and this is the appointment meeting location, so the link to actually join the call itself. If you need to make any adjustments to the appointment, please do so here. And then only include a reschedule link. You don't want to have a cancel link for your prospect, otherwise you don't want your prospect canceling calls, but reschedules are okay if they can't actually make the initial time that was booked. Looking forward to hearing more about your situation and seeing you grow with whatever your specific niche area is, and then just signing the text with the creator's name. Something as simple as that. Next, we're going to want to send our first email to the prospect. And this isn't the official appointment confirmation email. This is actually the email where we're going to be sending over all of our pre-call resources that we want the prospect to watch before the call. The actual confirmation email we're going to send over directly from the calendar, and I'll show you how to set that up later in the video. So the actual email itself, you want to dive into the specifics of where it's actually being sent from. So whatever name you send here is what will actually appear on the email from who it's being sent from. So set it to the creator's name themselves, or I've just called it Archie Allen in this situation, and the from email. You can set this email to be whatever you want it to be. Ideally, the email you'd want your customers to actually contact you at. It won't actually be directly sent from this email. It'll be sent from another email, but it will just be masked to look like it was sent from this email. But it means if your customers want to contact you, they can reach you back at the same email address that you've been sending them emails from. Then you want to give the email a subject which stands out and is likely to make the prospect actually click on the email itself. So something direct which just says, watch these before our call. And it's super unclear what this is. It just means like it's likely for the prospect to be intrigued and want to click into the email itself. So the actual structure of the email itself is super simple, and the goal behind this is simply just to get the prospect to watch all of the pre-call resources before the call itself. So just starting with, hey, whatever their first name is, thanks for booking a call with my team. We're excited to connect with you. Before we meet, it's essential that you watch the videos below. They reveal key strategies for winning with whatever your niche area is and show measurable results from our clients who have used them. By watching these videos in advance, you'll come to the call already equipped with the exact insights we're building on, so we can dive straight into mapping out your plan. And then from there, it's actually inserting the links to the videos you want them to watch. So watching these before our call, watch these before our call, and then you can insert, if you've got a pre-call video which breaks down your niche, what actually is your product, how it helps them, and then potentially some case studies, testimonials you want them to watch. You can customize this to whatever you feel is necessary for your prospects or your customers themselves. Please note, if these aren't watched before our meeting, we may need to reschedule. This is just reinforcing the importance of actually watching them, as they're super important. Looking forward to speaking with you and mapping out your whatever it is, insert niche area specific outcome. Talk soon, and then just sign it off from the creator's name and the program that they've created. Just make sure this is the same as who you're sending it from up here. So from this specific automation sequence, these are the two messages that we want to send immediately after the call is booked. So the confirmation message confirming the actual appointment itself, and the email sending over all of the pre-call videos for them to watch through. But now we want to set up some actual reminders before the call itself. So for the rest of this automation, these are just going to be the SMS text reminders, and then we'll dive into the email reminders separately later on in the video, which will be under a separate automation. To actually set time reminders that send at an exact time before the appointment starts, you're going to need to use the wait action here. So once you select it, it will open up this page here, and you can change the wait for timer and change it from timed delay to event appointment status. And from there, you can select how often you'd like the messages to send before the call. And I typically think 1 day and then 2 hours is the ideal sort of time frame to send text reminders. So they get one exactly the day before, reminding them of their call the next day for that exact time. And then they get one 2 hours before. And this is enough time in advance, so if they're at the grocery store or they're doing whatever, they have enough time to reschedule, or they can make it back in time for the actual appointment. If you only send it an hour or half an hour before the call, then potentially they don't actually have enough time to join the call itself. So you're going to want to set the days and set this for the first one to be sent exactly 1 day before the call itself. So set that to 1 day. So now you're going to want to set up your text reminder, which is going to be sent exactly 1 day before the call itself. And the structure of this is super simple. It's just, hey, whatever their first name is, the creator's name here, just messaging you to remind you of our scheduled appointment tomorrow at whatever the start time is, and make sure you put time zone as well. I'm currently putting together a custom roadmap for you based on what you've already told us. And then insert the closer's authority title again, and then put their name here as well. So my head coach, Archie, will walk you through all the details in the strategy session. I sent over a bunch of resources from my email for you to review before the call. It will help make the call much more productive. Did you have the chance to review it and then sign it off from the creator again? And it's always best to finish with a question here, so it's more likely to get an actual response rather than just finishing with a statement where they're unlikely to respond. And you want to actually prompt them to go ahead and watch those pre-call resources that we sent over to them, but also reminding them of the appointment and keeping in front of the minds that they have that scheduled time with us tomorrow. Then from there, we have our final SMS text reminder, which is going to be sent. And we're going to go ahead and add another wait action for exactly 2 hours before the appointment. And this is the final text reminder, which gets sent exactly 2 hours before the appointment is booked to start. So the actual text message itself is super simple. It has a super simple structure. And the goal for this is simply just to remind the prospect that the call is starting within 2 hours. It's just, hey, first name, we've got our, whatever the name of your program is, strategy session in 2 hours. Just wanted to make sure you still have the link to our meeting and then sign it from the creator. And this just simply prompts the prospect to respond and just say, hey, yes, I'm still able to make it. And then if they haven't got the meeting invitation, we can send that back over to them so they're able to actually join the meeting itself. So this is the initial SMS text reminder and confirmation sequence. We've also sent over the email with all of the pre-call resources in. But before I dive into the rest of the email sequencing, if you're looking to get into growth operating, or you're a growth operator already and you want a guaranteed client that I'll partner with you to scale and access to all of my SOPs and systems that I've created as a growth operator, then check the link in the description below to be able to apply to work with me one-to-one directly. Now for the actual email reminders and confirmation messages. So you want to navigate to calendars in your GHL sub account and then go to calendar settings, and it should open up the page with all of the different calendars that you own are in. From there, you just want to click on Edit Calendar and it should bring up all the details for the specific calendar. And then you want to navigate to Notifications and Additional Options. So the first thing we want to set up are the official email reminders. So you want to go into this, edit them, and firstly you want to enable them. So make sure this is enabled and then select this for contact and assigned user. The contact is the email that the contact or the prospect will receive before the call, and the assigned user is for the closer, or whoever's taking the closing call will get a message before the call reminding of it themselves. So clicking into contact, this will open up the actual email that's going to be sent out to the prospect as a reminder. So firstly, you want to select how often you want the reminder to be set before. In this scenario, I've set mine to 1 day, 4 hours, and 15 minutes before the call, but you can customize this to however much you think is necessary and how often you'd like to remind your prospect before this call itself. Bearing in mind, they will also be receiving the SMS text reminders and the sequencing from there as well, so maybe not overdo it. So the actual structure of the email itself is something super simple. You just need to say, hey, whatever their name is, it's whatever the creator's name is from your program here, just reminding you of our scheduled appointment tomorrow at whatever the start time is, and then the appointment time zone. And then on the call we'll cover. And now this is really important because you want to make sure that the prospect is getting value out of the call. If they understand that they're actually getting something out of the call, then they're much more likely to join than if they just think it's a sales call and they're going to get pitched on something. So on the call we'll cover a custom roadmap for achieving whatever your specific niche area is or a goal. Time for your specific questions about whatever it is, so answering their specific questions, and then see if you qualify for our, whatever your specific program is. Please let us know if you need to make any changes to the appointment. Here are the full details, and then you want to send them the appointment start time, the join link, and then the reschedule link if they need to join the time that it's actually scheduled for. Looking forward to helping you build whatever your specific niche area is, and then just signing off with the creator's name and the creator's program. Once again, you want to make sure that the details of who it's being sent from are correct. So you want to send it from the creator's name and then their from email address. So make sure it's the same email address as you used for the pre-call video email that you set up in the other email automation. Then finally, it's just making sure you've got the actual official confirmation message that's being sent over by email with this start time and the actual join link. So this is the email that's sent immediately also, just with the booking link via email, even though we've also sent this via text. It's best to send it from both just to make sure there's that extra chance that the prospect actually sees it and does join the call. So you want to navigate over to appointment booked, status confirmed, and then go ahead and click edit. Once again, you want to make sure that the email is actually enabled and then it's set to the assigned user and the contact. So the email to the assigned user is just the closer notifying that someone's booked into their calendar, so they get the email for the booking itself. And then from there you have your actual contact email, and this is the confirmation that's being sent to the prospect themselves. So finally is the structure for this email, and it's super simple. This doesn't need to be overcomplicated. It can just look like a normal generic GHL confirmation email, just with the exact time and meeting join link. So it's just, hey, whatever their name is, your appointment has been scheduled. Here are the details for the upcoming appointment. Appointment title, date, time, meeting location. Simple as that, because they're already getting all of the other details from the other email that we sent over, the text sequencing. So there's no point overdoing it. And then once again, making sure you're setting the from details to be correct, and then giving it a proper subject as well. So now, after setting up all of these systems, you should have massively improved show rates and lead quality because your prospects actually come to the call prepared, understanding what your product is and how it can help them. If you want to work with me directly, the link's in the description below to apply to work with me. And if you want more content, then subscribe to see more.